Welcome to my Lupus living room. This is Suzanne Tierney. I am the CEO of the Lupus Foundation of America's Greater Ohio chapter, and I like to have real conversations with real people. Today, we have a special guest, and she has an interesting journey, and I'm always happy to share stories and advocates and other people's point of views. So, if you'd like to come to my lupus living room, please let us know at the office and you can call 1-888 no lupus. But today, welcome to my lupus living room. This is Michelle Lamb. Let's greet her. Welcome, Michelle. How are
Hello,
you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me
Oh, I'm
on your
delighted.
Lupus platform. My name is Michelle Lamb. I'm located here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am a barber, stylist, and a manicurist. And what I do from my platform not only make people beautiful, but I bring them healthcare information.
I think it's wonderful. I don't know. I've known you for a couple years now, and I don't know if you know that I have a beautician background.
I think
Okay.
you told me that
Yeah.
once in our
Yeah, and
conversation.
even today
Yes.
at my age, I am too cheap to have my hair cut and colored when I can do it myself. I'm
I
too
know
cheap
that's
to
right.
have my nails done when I can do it myself.
Well, I do it myself too, so that saves you on a little money.
Oh, well, bless your heart. You work really hard and you work hard in other ways. So, just to give a little background to our audience here, I was on a search trying to figure out how to reach the minority community or people of color,
Yeah,
or especially women
yeah,
in the prime of their lives. And I noted that there was a project going on across the country having to do with barbershops and beauty shops,
yes,
and I don't remember the name of the group, but it's a great group, but they didn't really have a lot of people in Ohio. But
yeah,
someone did turn me on to Michelle, and
yes,
what they did is these were barbershops and beauty shops meeting people where they're at
yes,
and
ma'am.
going to trusted areas who everyone trusts their barber. I know my husband's been seeing his barber since 40 years.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen when he retires, okay?
yes,
But I know a lot of people trust their beauticians and their barbers, and they expect them. It's like having a shrink in a chair. You're just there.
yeah.
So, Michelle, tell us what you do in your neighborhood that really feels that makes an impact to your community.
Well, let me start from the beginning, if you
Sure.
don't mind, very
Go
short.
ahead.
I'm at home one day looking at MSNBC, and I saw there was a call for barbers and stylists, beauticians, to have something called shots in their shop. That's where they're reaching out to the community to have them to come in to get COVID vaccines. This was in 2019. And I thought to myself, wow, I would love to do that. Just so happened, one of my colleagues at the time had a couple doctors who knew about this initiative, and they brought it to me and asked me if I would be interested. And it's so crazy. It's like I spoke it into existence. So there was 1,000 barber and beauty salons from around the country that were chosen to get training, actually connect with a health information resource, and to get trained. So I was chosen from that. And I was so happy to, in business, and I've been in business for over 30 years, I would have to say that was the most joyous thing that I've done for my platform. And I've done plenty,
Mhm.
but just to be able to get the community vaccinated. So from there, the University of Maryland, and this was with President Biden, Shea Moisture, and also the University of Maryland. Once the COVID subsided and the money was gone, the University of Maryland decided to pick their top 10 to continue on with healthcare from their platform. So I was also selected there. So That's what I've been doing since 2020. I love what I do. I love helping my clients. I love helping my community. So that's how I got involved with bringing healthcare to the barbershop.
Well, I call that passion with the purpose there. You know
Yes,
what I mean? You're
yes,
very passionate and it serves a purpose, and a purpose-driven life is a wonderful life. And
yes.
I'll
Thank
tell
you.
you, advocacy warriors like yourself are not enough, okay? And
Yes,
as you know, we're fighting a war on lupus in the state of
yes,
Ohio, across the country,
yes,
and we know that people of color impacted worse.
yes.
We don't have all the answers. We have a lot of work to do, and
Mm-hmm.
we do need to get people more involved. And
Yes,
so we're going to do an event with Michelle. We've done it before.
yes.
Actually,
We've d-
we're doing about 5 in the state. And if there's
okay.
anybody else who wants to do it, let us know. But Michelle, go ahead and tell them what you're going to do. What's coming up?
Well, what I do is Suzanne sends me all the material that I need. She also sends me a gift card to get refreshments, and I invite my clients and the community to my business to become educated on lupus, how it affects us, um, just signs that you may have with lupus. And I just love doing it. I really do, Suzanne. And
Do-
we've been working together. Actually, this will be our third year. I don't know if you know that. We've done,
She's so full of energy. If I could just duplicate you across the state, oh, I'd be so excited. Because
yes,
here's what we know. We know that people today, we've done a good job at pushing lupus awareness out there,
yes,
but the general public, they've heard it and now they know someone who has it, but
yes,
they still don't know what it is.
right,
Okay. And what we're looking to try to do is pay attention to the symptoms. All the symptoms may not come all at one time. They
yes,
could be spread over a period of time, but we want people to be cognitive to look at these symptoms, because early detection means early treatment, better management. Lupus
yes,
does not have to be a death sentence.
no,
Okay. It doesn't have to be dialysis, because most people that have a really hard time with lupus get lupus nephritis, and it attacks your kidneys. So, do any people, so we send her all these cute little kits that give, it's like a lupus quiz,
yes,
and you can ask all these questions, and
yes,
if you have 4 out of the questions, it's a good idea to, like, let's look at lupus. Could it be? So you
yes,
start then with your family practitioner. He'll run some basic tests on you. If
mhm,
he's fearful, then he'll pass you off, hopefully, to a rheumatologist. And I'm
yes,
going to tell you right now, here's the educational part from me. If you are diagnosed with lupus, as much as you love your family practitioner, please see a lupologist or a specialist with lupus. And that would be a rheumatologist as well. Now, I love my family doctor, but some things, lupus is a constant changing disease. It takes a skill set to identify it and to manage it. So don't mess around with it. And if you go to
yes,
a rheumatologist, you ask him, how many lupus patients have you seen? And if he says, oh, 1 or 2, run for the door. Okay,
yes.
you're looking for the guy who's got a huge caseload and sees the many different faces of lupus. So, do you run across any people that have 4 or more symptoms? And if you do, what do you do with them?
Well, for instance, I think it was Wednesday night, I did a call with Rita, who's under you or work
Mhm.
with you. And I learned so much. It was a lupus one on one. And the funny part about that is, I have a client that daughter has lupus.
Oh.
And so immediately after we got off our call, I sent the information that I had screenshot to her.
Mhm.
Um, Her daughter is battling lupus right now, and also she battling other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted her to know that if she ever wanted to sit down and talk to me, so that I can refer her to you, your organization, or, just help her navigate through this. So
Mm-hmm.
that was very helpful. And my client was very grateful that I sent her that information. And also, I guess it's been about a year and a half ago, a gentleman who actually came to one of my events for COVID reached out to me about his daughter. And I
Mm-hmm.
had no idea who this gentleman was. I didn't remember him, but he had remembered me. And he just said that his daughter was going through some um, physical stuff. He didn't go into that she had lupus. He wanted her to come in to get her hair cut. And so she did. And actually, I was able to give her so much information, cut her hair. She told me she had just been diagnosed, and it took her a while to be diagnosed. And so it's anything that I can learn to help the community, I'm so willing to do it.
You got your suitcase packed with
Yes,
knowledge.
yes,
You can just
yes,
grab in there and say, "Wait a minute, I got it. I got
yes.
it."
So
Do you want to
learning,
share any other health issues that you might put out there at
well,
your
I
salon?
I just done a video. I haven't put it out yet on the flu, RSV. Um, Also, I do an event with a young lady who wrote a book, I Can Help. It's a diabetes book on how to take care of
Okay.
yourself, how to identify if you have diabetes. Now, I do an event with her. I've been doing that with her for the last 2 years. And we do
Mhm.
about 2 or 3 events a year from my platform. I have went out of my platform to do something for her. So I'm just maneuvering my way around. I'm
Mhm.
connecting with people that want to reach people who don't normally go to the doctor and see about themselves. And that's mainly in the African American community.
Mhm. And do you know why do you know why that is? Do you know why they're reluctant? Is there an
Well,
issue?
the trust is one.
Mhm.
The co-pays, I hear that so much. Well, my copay will be this or that. Um, the trust in the doctors. But like I always explain to people, and I've done this myself over the years, if there is a doctor that you don't feel is interested in what you think or what you have going on, it's time to move on.
Mhm.
There's so many doctors under your insurance plan, you know what I mean? And you just keep moving on until you find the right one. There is a lot of great doctors out there, but you just have to find the right one. So
Yeah.
that's my suggestion, and always to advocate for yourself and your family. That's something my grandmother taught me. She passed away from here 6 years ago.
I'm
She
sorry.
had cancer.
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about cancer. I didn't know anything about, but I think she kind of set me up for this. And I'm going to say that because I learned how to advocate for my grandmother. I really did. With every doctor she saw, I
Mhm.
learned that because I didn't know. You don't know these big long words. You don't know what this, you don't know. It had got to the point with my grandmother when she was in the hospital, the doctors who took their time, and she had great doctors, and would use the chalkboard in the hospital to write things out for me, to break it down, to show me draw all kind of stuff. So I think she kind of prepared me for the work that I'm doing now.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
my mother brought me to the Lupus Foundation. I
Okay.
wasn't going. I went kicking and screaming, but
Okay.
she brought
Yeah.
me along. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things. So I've heard that there's trust issues,
Hmm.
and I don't know how we get beyond that. But I will say, unfortunately, medicine practice is a practice. Okay.
Yes.
They're humans and they go to school, they learn a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think it's important to be in the presence of someone who has a lot of patience and has seen a
Yes.
lot of lupus and isn't surprised or shocked and has found ways or not to treat. Because today, like unlike we were about 5 years ago, we're getting a pretty big arsenal of drugs to treat lupus, where before we only had one drug.
Wow.
So people are in a better place today than I was many years ago. But the
Okay.
part of, let's talk about the part. Well, one thing about the trust is I say bring someone with you. Okay.
Yes.
Don't go alone. Bring
I agree.
someone with you. Okay. You said you went with your grandmother, you did everything with your grandmother. Everyone should have a wingman or an
Yes.
advocate. And the other
Yes.
thing is, we hear things that we're not repeating or we're not absorbing, or we're
Mm-hmm.
so excited finally to get in to see the doctor that
Mm-hmm.
we're not fluent on what we should be telling them, and that
Mm-hmm.
your companion with you might know something that you left out that's important. So it
Yes.
goes either way. One, that person can help you. Two, they can be a sponge from the doctor. And once you leave, you have a better understanding of really what happened. Because I know it takes a long time to get in to see these guys. And I
Yes.
always tell everybody, write it down. Whatever
Yeah.
is, write it down. Okay. And here's a tool, here's a tip. Do not go in there and be Dr. Google. Okay.
Yes.
Do not go in there because you saw this on Google or you saw this online or you saw the, do not do that. You're
Yeah.
paying to be in the presence of a physician. Okay. Let him say what he has to say. Then, if you have a question, but you can't expect him to be verbatim what Google says. Okay. And really,
Mm.
the sources on Google are important. Stay off of all these crazy sites. The Lupus Foundation of America is the leading source for lupus in the world. Okay.
Okay.
So let's stay there. Let's stay there. Let's not go off there and dig. And it can get dangerous. And a
Yes.
lot of times these things need interpretation.
Yes.
And the
And doc.
other, we're not the same. Each one of us is different.
Yes.
I could have 10 lupus patients in the room and we could all have different issues,
Hmm.
you know.
Yes. And doctors hate when you go to Google too.
Oh, it's so offensive to them. You
Yeah.
you you have 10 to 15 minutes and you want to spend the time telling him what you saw on Google? Listen
Yes.
to what the guy has to say. He went to school for it. He sees the
Right.
patients, okay?
Right.
Um, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing not to go onto Google, but you're in front of the, please don't go in there and pretend you're Dr. Google. You're in front of a doctor with a degree, okay?
Yes. I agree.
Um, and you mentioned that some of your constituents were concerned about copays. So at the Lupus Foundation, if you have lupus, we
Mm-hmm.
do have a small fund. You would have to, you spoke about Rita. Rita
Yeah.
is a nurse.
Yes.
She's our lead patient navigator. And I'm going on a rabbit trail, but I'll circle back here. So in the state of Ohio, with the help of many lupus patients, we were able to advocate for line item in our state budget, which I am praying that they keep it there. All
Yes.
right. But with that line item, we have a small pool of money that we can help people with their copay.
Yes.
Okay. So if someone needs help with that copay, call Rita at
Yes.
188 no lupus. Okay. Because Rita might be able to help you with that. The
Yes.
other thing, if you have barriers to care for the state of Ohio, okay, we might be able to help you with a few of those barriers. Sometimes people can't get to the doctor. So
Mhm.
maybe we can arrange an Uber health ride, or sometimes you don't have money, it's a choice between medicines and groceries. Maybe we can help you with that. If you're depressed and you're thinking about seeing some mental health professional, which we should all see, because when you have lupus, you need a direction. Okay.
Yes.
We might be able to help you with that. So, and we have resources and collaborations that might be able to help. I'm not going to say we can help everyone, but
Yeah.
there's a good chance we might be able to help you with those issues. Now, at your salon, you're going to have these little refreshments. You're going to put it out there to the neighborhood. You're going to
Mm.
have some literature. And you took a class, so you're
Yeah.
smarter today about lupus than you were yesterday.
Yes, I am.
So I can just hear lupus, lupus, lupus all over that salon.
Yeah.
So how many chair salon do you have?
It's a 4-chair salon.
Okay.
When I have an event, it's normally 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
We get anywhere from 30 to 40 people through there
Wow.
just to come and support the cause, to learn more.
Mhm.
So as far as that concerns, we do very well with the
Mhm.
community. We really do. And
And and
I'm out.
you're in Cincinnati. What part of Cincinnati? Because Cincinnati's pretty big.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in a place called Hardwell. That's the name of the community.
Is that east, west, north, south of the city?
It would be north,
North. Okay.
not too far north, but going into north.
Mhm.
It's close to a community. As a matter of fact, right past my driveway is Wyoming. Have you ever heard of Wyoming?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, it's Hardwell and then Wyoming.
Okay.
So we like I said, no bragging or anything, but we do get the support
Mhm.
because people they what happens is the clients in the community feel so comfortable coming to the barbershop to have this group of people to talk about things that may
Mhm.
be affecting them or their family.
Yeah. I
So
can remember when I worked in the shop, it was fun.
yes,
It was
yes,
fun. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knew everybody. It's like
yes,
everybody was like an extended family, you
yes,
know?
it's still fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Of course, it's great to get your hair cut and or whatever and
Yeah,
all that stuff too. Even
yes.
though I'm too cheap, it's still fun.
Okay.
And I will do it occasionally. All right. So you attended the one-on-one class. How long did that take?
I think it was a couple hours, if I'm not mistaken. I think it
Mhm,
went from 6 to 8,
mhm.
if I'm
And
not mistaken.
and would you suggest that to someone who has lupus or someone who thinks they may have lupus? Would you
Oh,
refer that?
yeah, yes, I would. Yes,
Okay.
because what Rita done, what for me, is to break down the different types of lupus you can
Okay.
have. And that was really good for me because I was able to ask questions. I was able to, so that was very good. Because, like you said, no two people are alike, so that was good.
Okay. So here's the other thing, and I know you know this now because you're smarter than you were yesterday.
Yes.
Discoid lupus affects the African American community, and it's awful. Okay.
Yeah,
Or
90%.
people with color. What happens is you can have pigmentation discolor or
Hmm.
massive hair loss. And
Hmm.
what can you I don't know. What do you suggest for people with hair loss? Can you give us any words of wisdom? Like, should
Well,
we wash it more, condition it less? What should we do?
when you, because African American women, I do a lot of women who has
Okay.
went back to their natural state of their hair. And over the years, when perms first came out years ago, they didn't have to be FDA approved. Okay.
Okay.
So, and the pulling on the hair, the wigs, the weaves, the braids, none of that stuff. The color is just no good. I mean, if you notice now, you'll see ads where they're having cancer that's now, they're finding that regular relaxers are now, they're finding that women who's had relaxers along the years are
Mhm.
now developing cancer.
Anything
So,
on color? Anything on color? There was a rumor that Kennedy, Jackie Kennedy, they thought it was cancer. And
well,
any
color
rumor to
too.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
color is the same because you can read the box and the ingredients, but do each and every
You can't
stylist
read
know?
that box. It's too
Right.
small print. A mouse has to read it.
Right. Does each and every one know? And then as you get older, you're on different medications. So will a relaxer coincide with the medication that you're taking? We
Mhm.
don't know that. And so I always suggest, and this is just me, I'm a natural bunny. I don't
Okay.
do any colors, any relaxers, any texturizers. I just don't do that. And what
Okay.
I tell my clients is if that's what you want to do, but I just don't provide that in my shop. I do
Okay.
shampoos and conditioners, and I try to bring people back to where their hair is more healthy, even if they've lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of clients that has alopecia.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that may have ran in their family. I just don't want to put any type of chemical on top of all of that, plus your medication. I'm not
Right.
interested in that.
Right. So I've seen quite a few African American women and a
Hmm.
few men
Hmm.
have hair patch losses.
Hmm.
Is so what do we do? I mean, does it grow back? I know you can't answer that, but so it's back to the question, is washing our hair better or should we do it less? Is there's natural oils? What
Well,
in caring for it, what should we do?
well, with African Americans, they can go longer than Caucasians. And the reason why, because you guys' hair develop oil.
Mhm.
Our hair doesn't develop oil like that.
Okay.
So a
Okay.
week or two in an African American, with a Caucasian, I would say every couple days.
Hmm.
Because you know yourself, if you go too long without shampooing your hair, it's going to weigh down. It's going to be
Right.
limp. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
do.
with
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I would suggest.
I know mine is falling out. Okay. Mine
Hmm.
is, I used to have thick Italian curly, real natural curly hair. Okay.
Okay.
And I've kind of laid off curlers and curling irons and washing it less and using a wide tooth comb,
Okay.
only because I'm trying to save what I have, what's left, you know.
Yeah, I
But
get
that's
it.
always a hot conversation, and everybody wants to do these things like biotin or all these other very expensive shampoos.
Rogaine.
And I'm not sure that it works. I don't know if it's from
Well,
the inside or if it's an external problem or an internal problem or, I don't know if
I
anybody
don't.
has the secrets to that.
I don't believe all that stuff works.
Yeah. And
I just
expensive. It's expensive.
it's expensive. I don't believe it works. And when you can see, I have a client that actually take the Rogaine or get
Hmm.
the Rogaine shots, and her hair is thinning more and more.
I
But
see.
you can only tell a person so much.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's
Sure.
you're crossing the line. Now,
Yeah.
if they ask me, I will tell them. But
Hmm.
if they don't ask, I'm not just going to volunteer and say, hey, girl, I think you're wasting your money. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? But if they ask me, I will tell them. Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing I want people to know is we do have support groups in the Cincinnati area, okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
in the Columbus area and in the Cleveland area. All right.
Okay.
We do have an online virtual. We have one that's virtual. And we also have a telephone one where if you
Okay.
just want to call in. Um, I want people to know if they have lupus or if they're a caregiver of lupus, because I think we don't do enough for the caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think you have lupus, chime into some of these groups, okay? There
Okay.
is so much value in hearing other people who've walked the walk, okay?
Yes.
There's that old cliche that misery loves company too. All right. When you can share like experiences and go, oh, I'm not a hypochondriac. Oh, maybe I should ask my doctor, this is a drug, maybe it's something for me, or oh, you did that. It's priceless. All
Yeah.
right. And living with the disease, no matter what it is, and you know this because you're a
Mm-hmm.
warrior,
Mm-hmm.
um, it doesn't have to be a lonely, miserable one. Not today. Okay.
Right.
Not today. And so I would encourage our audience to go to our website at www.lupusgreaterohio.org, and you can find out all kinds of information there. It's good information. There's a resource page there. There's a couple toolkits. And if you want to be a champion or be a warrior along with us, we have some walks coming up. We used to do a Cincinnati walk. We're trying to build a group down there since COVID. It's been a challenge, but we do have the walk in Cleveland coming, which people come from all over, not just from Cleveland, but Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan. All right, and then we have one in Columbus, which is a little closer. This is a great opportunity for you to rub elbows with other warriors, with your family and your friends, to be supportive. And to be honest with you, as crazy, I know this is March Madness, but the world is in madness right now. And we're all living with uncertainty. And I can tell you, can please support us when you can, no matter how small. Collectively, we all make a difference. Okay. And times are rough. And if you have a favorite charity, don't forget them right now, because everybody's being cut. And I know
Yes.
that everybody's dime went to a nickel, but if we can hang in there together, we'll all make a big difference. And
Yes.
Michelle, I want you to repeat again the day of your event. And I hope that you visit Michelle, and I hope you utilize her services as well. And I think if I was there, I'd have her cutting my hair. That's for sure. And and go ahead and tell them your event again.
Well, I don't have a date
Okay.
set up yet, but it's in the upcoming month. Okay, months, uh, April sometime or May, but I will have an event.
Okay, so
And
we're gonna put it on our Facebook push. We'll put it on our website as soon as we get
yes,
it. But
yes,
I believe it's for Minority Health Month, which is in April.
okay.
And so we'll wrap. I didn't realize I didn't have that tied up, but we will button that up soon.
No, we hadn't talked about, we talked about Minority Health Month,
Mhm.
but we didn't have a specific date.
Okay, we'll work
But
on that. Well,
yes,
there's a lot that's going to go on during April and May. So
hmm,
May is Lupus Awareness Month, and that's
yeah,
why we moved the Cleveland Walk to May. Okay.
okay,
Our advocacy initiative is going to be in May at the Capitol. I don't know what's happening at the Capitol. We're
mm-hmm,
still going to go and ask for NIH and CDC funding for research. We know that the DoD lost 50% of their funding for health organizations. So these are critical times. And just when we
very
think
good.
we're making great strides, it seems to be a slippery slope.
Yes,
So, and if you have anxiety over this, um, breathe, breathe. And if you have lupus and you need to talk to someone, 3 of my staff members here have lupus, and join a support group. So again, you can reach the chapter at 1-888-NO-LUPUS. And Michelle is our lupus advocate hero in the
thank you.
Cincinnati area. We're
Yes.
so grateful for all you do, and
Well,
that
thank you so
you have
much.
passion and care for others. I hope you are truly blessed in your journey in life. I
Well, thank
truly
you so
do.
much, Suzanne.
So
And it's been
give them the name of your shop and the phone number and the address. Go ahead.
okay. The name of my shop is the Hairport Barber and Beauty Studio, located here in Cincinnati, Ohio, 45216. The telephone number is 513-821-2887.
And
Thank you, Suzanne.
as always, there's a disclaimer that I must repeat. I don't endorse any product, any services, any remedies. Your doctor is the best resource for you for that information. Okay. But we do want to thank Hairport Barber and Beauty Studio for
Yes,
being a champion for us in pushing out advocacy awareness. And I hope you visit, and you can learn a lot, and you can rub elbows with people in your community. And who knows, you may find a lupus buddy there. And if you do
yes.
have lupus, make sure you give us a call.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming to my lupus living room. Thank you,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
And we look forward to our next visit. And if anyone would like to join me on my lupus living room, give us a call. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Remember, there is no I in lupus, but there is an us. Until next time, this has been my Lupus Living Room with the Lupus Foundation of America's Great Ohio Chapter. For more information and resources to help you in your lupus journey, please visit lupusgreatohio.org or call 1-888-NO-LUPUS. The funding for my Lupus Living Room is an earmark from the state of Ohio and managed by the Ohio Department of Health. Your physician is the best person to help you in the treatment of lupus. The information you learn here today can be discussed with your doctor, as your physician knows your medical history best. Please do not make any medical changes without consulting your physician first. As with any treatment, stay educated and get information from trusted sources.